speaking of Olympics as the example, let's jump into our Olympics bets now, Brett, because that's right. I'm going back to the wishing well. I hit on some Olympic bets last time, so I'm going to try again. The basketball's wrapping up. We have the gold medal game of France versus the USA. USA 12.5 point favorites. This game's happening on Friday night, 10:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 local time for me, Brett. So I'm going to wait a little bit closer to game time before I place this. So this is going to be a social media bet that I give out, so make sure to follow us there at NBB Pod on Twitter, at Next Best Bet on Instagram, and the Next Best Bet Facebook page and YouTube channel. But I'm not so sure if I'm going to be jumping on this USA spread yet, but they are 4-1 in the Olympics against the spread.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's good information to have, Higgins. I'm sure their one loss came against France in the opening game. So, something interesting to keep our eye on. USA's lost their last two games on the international stage against France. So, maybe France has our number. Maybe it's time for revenge, and we just happen to be getting it in the gold medal game, Higgins. But there is a game in the men's basketball bracket that you are on, the bronze medal game of all the games, Higgins. Go figure.
Yes, I'm going to be on the Slovenia versus Australia game, and that's because up until Slovenia lost to France to fall into the bronze game, um, they were perfect against the spread this entire tournament because Luka Doncic has been on fire. Even when teams stopped him from scoring, he was able to facilitate to other guys. They were able to get hot. This team has been able to rally and really come out of their group strong and then play through these knockout stages fantastically. -2, Luka Doncic matches up rather well against this Australian team that's quick, but they're not going to be sizable enough to really guard him well, I don't think. So he's going to be able to get off his shots. And in that first game, remember, he was able to go off for 48. The Olympic record is 55. So he's already having an amazing first Olympics.
Yeah, Luca's been incredible. I guess if I was going to advise anyone to bet, I would maybe lean the other side. I think NBA talent, top to bottom, probably weighs out over a superstar, but Luca is that special, Higgins. You mentioned it. Luca was actually going into that game against France, I believe. Was 17-0 on the national team. Now he's 17-1 in major competitions. So you're probably right, Higgins. You don't want to bet against that kind of a train, but I would just loosely lean the other way. I'm not going to bet it. So I'm not rooting against you, Higgins. I'm rooting for Slovenia and you to place and cash out here, but my instincts would say Australia has much more NBA talent top to bottom.
Australia does, but they've also been looking rather run ragged because they have their stars and those guys are playing a lot of minutes. They were looking tired in the past few games that I've seen them actually in recently. Brett, I'm not done with my Olympic picks though because there's some men's baseball going on as well. We got the bronze game, we got the gold game, and I'm going to be betting on both of them. This is just going to be real quick, but we got the Dominican Republic against South Korea. And guess what happened? These two already played each other. South Korea won 4-3. I don't think that's happening again. It's hard to beat a team once, let alone twice in the Olympics. The Dominican Republic has a very strong team. The bats have woken up a lot more compared to this game against Korea. So I am going to be taking the DR plus 165 on the money line. And that's not the only underdog I'm going to be taking, Brett, because we jump over the gold medal match. We got the USA against Japan. These two also already played in early on in this Olympics, and it was a 7-6 game that Japan won. So I think the USA is also going to rebound, taking them plus 125 on the money line. And do you remember that score I just said? 7-6. Both of these teams know how to score. They're not afraid to do it. They hit multiple home runs with ease. And so this over-under at 8.5, I feel is a little too low. It's a little disrespectful. The USA versus Japan went 10 innings in the first matchup. They're not going to be afraid to go the distance and do that again. I think over 8.5 is absolutely going to happen, and this is going to be a show. So make sure to tune into these if you can. That one, that's going to be Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you're going to wake up early and make sure you catch that game. I think that's going to be a good one.
Higgins, as someone that can only name, I'm going to say I can name 3 American. I know Todd Frazier's on there. I think I saw maybe Edwin Jackson was on there for the U.S. team.
Yep.
There's probably one more I'm aware of who's on there, but can't name off the top of my head. That's it. So if you could name, like, a player between South Korea and the Dominican Republic and Japan, I'd be very intrigued, Higgins, to hear you name, one player from outside the U.S. team still alive in the Olympic baseball tournament.
That is very fair. That is very fair. I'm not gonna just go. I'm not gonna just cheat and look at the lineup that is literally in front of me right now. So I feel like I am. But the thing is, I have watched each of these teams play on multiple occasions. So I'm not gonna just cheat and name you a guy right here on the list. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm going to say I have watched both these teams. I have watched all 4 of these teams play actually, and I'm confident in my picks. I'm taking 2 underdogs on the money line, and I'm taking the over 8.5 in the USA Japan game.
So you couldn't do it without a list in front of you. All right, fair enough.
The list was already
the
in front of me.
handicap.
The
That's
list was
the
already
handicap.
in front of me.
I'm just
It's
saying,
called research.
maybe you have a guy, you're like, oh, this guy, he's really good. He's the Devil Rays top prospect. Nope, couldn't do it.
DR has Melky Cabrera. How about that?
Melky Cabrera. Okay, I know him. He was a
Yes.
Yankee,
Yeah.
maybe in like 2006.
He's the DR's Todd Frazier.
Fair enough.